So what are you guys wearing?
Pajama shorts. Well, they're not shorts. They're just pajamas.
So you're wearing You're wearing pajama
underwear
shorts.
and a shirt.
Underwear and a shirt. Okay, that's inappropriate. Because I actually, when I go to do these episodes, I want you to know that I actually put on pants.
I just got out. I jumped in the shower as soon as I got home, and as soon as I was done, bam.
It's a formal affair here in the podcast.
But like, think about this. This is the podcast. Like, what sets us apart from all those other guys who are like, oh man, I'm hosting a podcast in my parents' basement. Like, professionalism.
I think what really sets us apart is just us screaming into the void, like soulless yip yaps.
No. Every millennial trapped in 21 trillion national debt is doing that, regardless of whether they have a podcast or not. What sets us apart is we all need to start wearing pants.
They'll be able to hear the fabric over the radio waves.
Yeah, well, that's like if you're scratching your nuts, man, but just wear pants. Like, think about this on a professional level. You need pants.
No, pants hinder us as a society. I'm just gonna say it.
All right, hear me out here. So, weed is legal in Alaska.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of the weed shops carry CBD gummies, which I then go and I buy for my wife to help her with her sleep. And, you know, CBD I'm pretty sure was legal before, like, weed got legal in Alaska. But it's legal. It's that gray area where, like, a dumb cop might actually still tase me for having gummy bears in my car, and then I have to go into holding, and then I might get federally fired. Like, but here's the thing. Like, I wanted to do weed at one point in my life. I wanted to try it at least once. But then I went to a weed shop recently to buy weed for my wife. And there was a dude standing there in a Deadpool bathrobe and pajama pants, Big Lebowski style, like a modern The Dude. And his girlfriend was wearing a unicorn kigurumi. And they were just standing there, like, trying to figure out what the difference between an eighth and a fourth was. And I actually remember just, like, standing there and being like, I hate these people. Like, actually, in that moment, I felt nothing but disdain and hatred for these people. Because it's just kigurumi. Just standing there in bath clothes, like, pajamas. And so, like, ever since that day, like, I used to, like, I'd go to Fred Meyer at 2 a.m, like, hell yeah, I'd wear pajama pants. But, like, now I can't. Like, if I'm going anywhere, I take off all of my clothes and actually, like, put on clothes and socks again. And I actually go and be a functioning member of society. Because, like, those people actually made me that mad.
Well, you see, Moth, the issue here really is just that people who smoke marijuana to the point where they'd want to work at a dispensary are not human beings anymore. Like, you're holding them to the same standard as yourself.
You realize,
but really, they've accepted that they are no longer real human beings.
You realize that, like, to actually enjoy our podcast, you probably have to be high, right?
I am not inebriated whenever we talk, except for, like, the 2 times I was, because of anxiety, and I enjoy your presence greatly.
Yeah.
If you're right now, if you are inebriated in any way while listening to this podcast, I'm calling your parents.
I don't think anyone who's legally allowed to drink listens to our podcast. Like, it's a bunch of, I don't know what the term is anymore. Like, this is my ignorance showing, like, Gen Z, Gen Z
Zoomers.
and a half.
It's
like,
Zoomer.
Zoomer, okay. It's a bunch of Zoomers who actually look up to us because they don't realize that we're, you know, except for Frog, we're like nearing 30 and we're actually actively staring into the void.
It's actually, my original idea for this podcast wasn't We Hate Anime. I was thinking about workshopping the Zoom Doom and Gloom podcast because Frog, he's a Zoomer. I'm a Gloomer, and you're a total boomer.
I'm a bloomer. You just add an L to it, brah. Like,
no.
Out of the 3 of us, I'm the one who actively works out and is trying to make, like, my world a better place. And you're like, yeah, you're a boomer. I'm like, yeah, because I've owned a credit card ever in my life and know what debt is. Like, fight me.
Yes, that makes you a boomer.
Yeah, being in debt makes you a boomer. And then blaming your kids for you being in debt. That's the definition of a boomer.
This is not where I expected this to go.
It's fine. If somebody who's like 65 is actually watching and listening to our podcast, like, we lost one of 27 viewers. It's fine.
It's funny you should say that. How you doing, Steve? I hope your daughter's doing well. Welcome once again, everybody, to the We Hate Syncope podcast. I'm your fire chief, English Mike. Joining me, as always, is my deputy fireman, the Mothman.
And Frog.
I was gonna call him the cute anime nun.
Actually, I'm glad you started with that because I'm just about ready to drop Fire Force.
Really?
Same.
Yeah,
Really? I didn't see the new episode, so...
Well, no, it wasn't even the new episode. Like, at the point in which the voice actor for Zoro is the only thing carrying your show, like, it's bad.
It has good moments of animation, but man...
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing, because I'm watching it, like, Demon Slayers. I would actually say Demon Slayers is not the opposite, but it's like the better version of Fire Force.
It's just a better shonen.
Yeah, Demon Slayers has seen what shonens have, and it has evolved logically to an enjoyable new shonen. We have a character who's not determined to be a blue or a red archetype. He falls into the green archetype. He's a new shonen protagonist that we've never really seen before. I would say Gon and Hunter x Hunter was the closest thing before that, but even then, Gon was a red character. And we're seeing this new character, we're seeing a new world, we're seeing new levels of animation, new character depth. And then you have this dude who's still stuck in his Soul Eater days, who made generic shonen anime number 873, and it's getting an amazing animation budget for being absolute trash.
I'm gonna hit y'all with an opinion, and I'm just gonna let it sit there and let me know how y'all feel. Fire Force is just Bleach for pyromaniacs.
I never saw Bleach.
You know what? I actively avoided Bleach. And I think AMV Hell is the reason I avoided Bleach.
So let me know if you've heard this before. People can become monsters, and in doing so, there are other people that have powers to fight those monsters. You have a main character that looks kind of scary, and people are kind of scared of him or wary of him. You have a girl who is sort of like, how do I put this? We're talking about Nun and Orihime. They're kind of seen as like, this is the one that we're kind of steering towards. Then there's a side girl that is, as of the most recent episode, a side girl that maybe not so much, but is still there. You have powers that all work on the same basic fundamental ability set, but that are wildly different to the point where they're not even fire related. Giving people heat syncope, that's
I think it's syncope.
I
think it's syncope.
I'm gonna need a sign to cope with whatever you fucking say.
Here's the problem.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, Fire Force is in the same category. By what you described, while trying to compare it and draw correlations to Bleach, you correlated it to Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha at the same time. Like, what you've accomplished, though, is proving how very generic and uninspired Fire Force is. Like, at the end of the day, I need to look up the author for it. I looked him up the other day. He can draw good facial expressions, and that's it. Oh, yeah. He has a unique art style with good facial expressions, and piss all else.
I think the character designs are fantastic.
Yeah, I like the way the show looks a lot.
They all have the same, like, firefighter uniform, but it's all stylized in such a certain way that each one still stands out. Even like the chief of the fire force, even he's just like, he's the only one that is as bulky as everyone else, despite the fact that they're wearing the same uniform.
He's also the coolest guy.
Yeah. Honestly, Zoro saves the show. And for you guys who aren't following what I'm getting at here, the voice actor for the Japanese dub is Zoro from One Piece. I mean, he's in a lot of stuff, but he's Zoro.
Like, he's really cool. Because, like, I always kind of am a sucker for people who don't have powers or who use, like, underpowered shit to be awesome. And, like, that's awesome, man.
And a dude who has to beat stuff with an axe to get, anywhere
that's so
in life.
Sick, man. That's why Monk's the coolest.
He has probably my favorite moment in the most recent episode, because while they're doing this raid on, what is it?
Section 5?
Yeah, while they're doing this raid on Section 5, he stayed behind to because Section 8, their whole thing is investigating other sections. So he has to stay behind and get the okay for the raid that they've already started. And the entire raid ends, and he finally gets off the phone and starts gearing up to come. And then he's like, "I'm on my way," and he's like, "What? It's over?" It's a really funny moment.
I think I'm in a different dimension than you, because I actually was watching that and I thought he had spent the entire time getting the gear necessary to do it. Like,
Yeah, because
that's what I saw. Is like he had spent 4 hours putting his stuff together.
He had just a fucking giant pile of his firefighting gear, and it's just I could see where you'd see that. It's totally there.
I mean, to be fair, if an anime starts to bore me, I get to the point where I just like play AFK Arena while I watch it. And so, you're probably right, but like, yeah, I'll give you that. The reason we're gonna drop it though, Frog, and I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much waiting for that next good animated scene. It's just bad. It's
the animation itself isn't even all that great. It's what I would describe as visual noise. Like, to someone who doesn't like follow storyboarding or animation, I can see where it's kind of pleasant to look at, but if you try and follow it with your eye, there's not a lot of connection, or the connection that's it's not logical. Like, it's a very poorly storyboarded anime that has a lot of money behind it, so it still looks all right.
Yeah. I think the biggest sin in Fire Force is how much good animation money is being wasted on such a subpar plot.
I don't know. I did think the pacing was being a little weird at first. I only saw I didn't see the last one episode, so I'm not exactly super caught up, but I kind of enjoyed what I saw. I just thought it was moving at a really dumb pace. Cause we met this fucking, lady with the dumb, cross eyes or whatever. Like the pink eye shit.
No. You take that back. There are 2 things that are sacred in the world of anime. Symbol-shaped eyeballs and symbol-shaped nipples.
Okay.
What
the
fuck was
what?
I'm having a stroke. Symbol shaped. What?
Have you not seen the heart-shaped nipples that put in hentai? It's really fucking off-putting.
No,
I've
they're
never
not,
seen
because
that before.
it's like,
I look at a lot of porn.
But you see titties all the time. But now, add a heart instead of just a standard circle.
It's the worst.
I guess that's how you know they love you.
Yeah, so don't insult her eyes. At least they're interesting.
I'm not insulting them. It's she has Nia eyes, and I love Nia. But
yeah, they're exactly Nia eyes.
Exactly.
And it's kind of unsettling.
Wait, we're talking about Gurren Lagann, right?
Yes, that Nia. She has pretty much the exact same eye design. That's not my problem. My problem is that she was introduced. She got no context. She was seeing being evil, killing the thingy, and then they raided her instantly.
In the next episode.
I'm sure she does, but it just felt really rushed.
I completely agree that it's very the pacing of the show is very odd, and I don't know what it is. I am kind of interested in reading the manga if it ever ends.
I've heard the manga's better, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I had somebody defend Soul Eater against me pretty vehemently the other day, and I remembered how much of a joke Soul Eater was too, because it had a lot of good things with Soul and Black Star, but character interaction, this is weird for me to say, but character interaction could not save how shitty Soul Eater was.
I plan to watch that show because Bones did it and it looks fucking amazing.
I made it halfway through and really enjoyed it, but
I'm sure I'll like it just because of the spectacle. That's mostly what I'm going in for.
Good art style, no substance. It's literally Redline, but worse. And Redline is my favorite movie.
I have not seen Redline. I really should see Redline, though. That's actually a crime that I haven't seen
really?
Redline.
You know what, Frog? You and I need to get together and watch
we should watch some Redline.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, so that's where we stand on this. It's a little late in the season, but Fire Force is bad, and it's not getting any better.
I'm going to say it's mediocre. I'm not going to say it's bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad either. I don't know if I'll give it one more episode, because it's moving on to another arc. One of the things that was really turning me off from like episode like 1 or 2 was that they already announced a tournament arc, and then the tournament arc was like half
one
of an
episode.
Wait, that was a tournament arc?
Yeah, I was
Well,
actually
that
I was
like a
proud of that.
competition. It was supposed to be. I was glad it was.
I thought it was just going to be like a little thingy, not a tournament arc. Because it's like,
Well, don't get me wrong, tournament arcs are immensely enjoyable, but the fact that he took a tournament arc trope and just flipped it on its head and said, lol, no tournament arc, I kind of enjoyed that.
that's fair.
I did too. I was really, though, like as soon as they were leaning into that, I was like, oh god, not again. Because I don't hate tournament arcs. Some of my favorite arcs in anime are tournament related. The Black tournament arc in Yu Yu Hakusho is artful, but god damn, do I hate tournament arcs. Like, it's just, it's everywhere these days.
All right. Sorry, I'm thinking about how bad it is. And it's like I said, it's once again, it's a mediocre shonen that got way too much animation budget.
I mean,
It's
hey,
like
at least it looks nice, and I like to look at it, and it's good.
It's
I
like
that.
It got the pretty color.
It looks like a funny, pretty orange. Wow,
very funny joke.
funny
what
orange.
I would call it is Mushi Bugyo with another 0 at the end of the animation budget. And
I only watched one episode of that, and I liked it.
I loved Mushi Bugyo, but it was shown in trash, and that's exactly what Fire Force is. But it's
Frog, for context, Mushi Bugyo is about ninjas fighting giant bugs.
Thank you. So it's just
not-
EDF.
it's more along the lines of like Attack on Giant Bugs.
I was gonna say Titan. I was like, wait,
Not to be confused with Terraform Mars.
or Bug Island.
Terraformers was. Oh, now you're just pissing me off. Something else I want to talk about though. I think this is going to be the Netflix episode.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of different.
We
stuff
got
coming
a
up.
lot of Netflix to talk about. But,
Yeah.
before we get to the meat of the topic, there was something.
Oh man,
One moment, guys.
We have special guest Cat.
Yeah, we got my 20-pound 6-month-old Maine Coon who suddenly realized he was locked in the room with me.
Oh, that's
Give me just a
adorable.
second.
yeah.
Gosh dang it. No, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, that being Invader Zim,
Well,
I wanted to talk about an anime that's very important. And the reason I think it's very important is because it means that black people at conventions no longer have to cosplay as members of the village in the Hidden Rock or Mist. And that's Cannon Busters.
I like it very much.
But you get what I'm saying is like, right? Like
No, yeah, it's I don't know if you know this, but it was made by the same guy it's Lasan Thomas, who was the mind behind the Boondocks. Did some work on the Last
really?
Airbender.
That's his?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
Boondocks is probably one of my favorite shows to come out of Adult Swim.
that's the same guy.
Yeah.
a good, great show.
It's a close second behind Metalocalypse for me. But yeah, Cannon Busters, and you get why I say that, Frog, like right
course.
away. Yeah,
It's awesome.
It's got a great focus on combat. It's got a very interesting story. Like my wife and I watched the first little bit last night, and it's actually really, really good, and it's really excited. But at the same time, like the most drawing appeal to it is that black weebs no longer have to dress up as characters from Naruto when they go cosplaying.
I have a few problems with it. Mainly that it's the schlockiest schlock ever.
But
Well,
it's-
here's the thing: the actual like main 3 characters, their exploits and their adventures are so far in the first 3 episodes that I've watched have been really fun. But the whole kingdom stuff, like the whole like backstory shit with like
come on.
the king, that's been like.
Oh, what do you mean? I thought it was completely awesome whenever that fucking monkey started A-posing at the king.
Like, he was like, just if you could write like bad guy into Google, he'd show up. You know what I mean? Like,
Calling it
it's-
tropey would be an insult to tropes.
did you watch episode
But-
3?
But that's
'Cause,
the thing.
no.
You can be tropey without being tired.
That's. I think this is because it gets even worse. Like in the third episode, he reveals that the monkey is the king is the monkey guy's father. Like,
What?
yeah, no, he's
Oh.
like, father, I've come for my revenge. He's like, what? No, it's you.
What?
It can't be.
Oh, no!
It's
I
that
actually
kind of
think-
shit.
I actually think something I really enjoy. Did you guys notice that Inosuke's voice actor from
Yeah.
Demon Slayers is the main character?
I listened to the dub. I watched most of the English dub for this, but I did notice when I did a short stint in the Japanese that it is kind of the same guy.
So what? Because this is done by the guy who does the Boondocks.
Yes.
Should I do the English or should I do?
That's where I got confused, right? Because it's a Western created and directed, but all the productions in Japan, so it's kind of like
I believe it's animated for the English voices.
I don't think
actually
so because
that's what I heard from somewhere.
Is
but that
it?
could just be Twitter.
Maybe it's just coincidence then.
But the important question is the voice actor from Huey back?
I have no
Like,
idea.
am I going to hear somebody tell me that I'm gay 100 times in a single episode? Because I need
Dude,
that.
that cute little robot should have been Huey.
Oh my gosh. No, man, your car's gay.
Oh shit! Like I can just imagine like rooting around looking for coins in the back of Bessie and be like, "Oh, this shit's fucking tired and gay."
Yeah.
No homo, though.
It's I don't know. I like it. Cannon Busters is looking good, and
Oh yeah,
you know,
me too. I like it a lot.
I actually think this writer, the guy responsible for the Boondocks and everything, is great. He tells stories that I think are enjoyable for you, regardless of who you are, and like literally anybody can sit down and enjoy his stuff and get something out of it.
I do
So
like how.
go
ahead.
I'm now going to step into the conversation now
Oh, okay,
because it's okay. Here's the thing. I'm not going to shit on it. I don't think it's bad.
dude, it's
it's
Black
how
Weeb Megas XLR. Come on, give it.
This is how I describe it, okay? And I described it like this in Discord last night. The guy who made this enjoys the exact same obscure shows that I enjoy.
Okay.
Because everything, down to the name of the show, is just pulled straight from other things.
Yeah,
It's-
that's fair.
He wears his
and it's-
inspirations on his sleeve. It's very clear.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you aren't familiar with all the things he's pulling from, I could definitely see you enjoying it with no problem. But as soon as the main robot girl went battle mad in the first episode and she had fiery hair and the guy was like, "Oh, she's a cannon buster." I slapped my fucking face because that's no from Die Buster. Like it's just this, it's the same character, and it's just
Okay, well, I mean, when your main mecha is just Megas XLR, come on, man, it's fun.
it's not even that it's Megas mixed with fucking Dixnia from Die Buster and also a little bit of Dan of Thursday from Gun X Sword, which is such an obscure, precise reference that only someone who's seen Gun X Sword would understand what I'm talking about. It's this guy. And there's not even a knock against the show. This guy loves the same things I do. More power to him. And if you enjoy I just called it
Cannon
Gunbuster. If you
Busters.
enjoy Cannon Busters, then you should hit me up on Twitter or on Discord. DM me, because I got some recommendations for you, boy, and it'll blow your fucking mind.
It's regardless though, it's nice to see. I'm a little bit wary of Netflix because I don't trust Netflix because I got a feeling Netflix is going to be the next Disney. Like Netflix does some weird things. Like Netflix produces show after show after show supporting LGBT characters, and then they get the only actual release of Neon Genesis Evangelion we've gotten in years.
Oh, yeah.
And they remove all gay references.
Just strip that shit clean.
And
We
so-
gotta show this to the wide margins.
But like, the thing is, I can't find myself truly enjoying anything put on Netflix because at the back of my mind, I'm sitting here going, yes, this is gonna kill Cartoon Network. This will kill Nickelodeon. This will kill everything. But it's just gonna be the next Disney. And before I know it, I'm gonna be a slave and I'm gonna have to be using Bitcoins and Ethereum to pay for different dreams hosted either by Netflix or Disney every night. And it won't even be Bitcoin or Ethereum because they won't be worth anything. The fucking mouse coin is going to be the new currency. Goof bucks.
It'll be Disney coin and China bucks.
Disney coin. Let's see here, Mickey Mint. That's what I would call. That's what I would
Mickey
call.
Mint, that's it.
Digital cryptocurrency from Disney is Mickey Mints.
I think my favorite thing about the series so far, though, is just the character designs, because I'm actually in love. It's really fucking good, man.
The character designs are great. It's got
It's so
it's got a
good.
feel of like Afro Samurai to it. It's got weirdly enough a feel of Cowboy Bebop to it.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it feels like Cowboy Bebop. It feels almost Gurney based in the art style.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy, I'm glad people keep throwing money at him because he keeps using it well.
I think.
I
think this was like a
100%,
long-term
Canon-
project for something. I
Yeah,
don't know
he's
if
been
I forget.
wanting to get this off the ground for a long time. I
I
think it may have been a Kickstarter at one
I
point.
might have
trying-
been. I'm not positive.
Well, what I'm trying to remember is because I could have sworn at one point he went on this weird, like, not really angry, but defeated rant on Reddit or even on his Twitter where he was like, Adult Swim owns the Boondocks, so I can't go back to the Boondocks. So I guess I'm going to start a new project about a guy in a 1950s Cadillac.
Oh, so it's
And
this.
I swear at one point he was like, I can't even draw the Boondocks comics anymore because Adult Swim owns the rights to it.
That's wild, because the
Yeah.
Boondocks comics existed way before the show.
No, that was the thing. That's what happens a lot of the time. Least I Could Do, which is made by Ryan Somer. Back in the day, I used to really like it. I can't stand the guy anymore, but he had Least I Could Do, which was a really successful comic. And then he got on board with Canada's equivalent of Adult Swim, which you might know about, Frog. But they were like, yeah, you can do Least I Could Do. And he signed a deal with them in good faith. And they started making changes. They're like, hey, what if instead of being like an absolute successful guy, this dude kind of lived with his mother? Like, they kind of like were making changes. Like, no, this comic has been established for 10 years. What are you doing? And so they made so many changes that he goes, okay, I have the right to terminate, and I have the right to terminate the production on this. So I took it, and he terminated it, but they still had the rights to everything. So
Yeah,
he
that's
wasn't
rough.
allowed to make a Least I Could Do show for 5 years, and they'd already made a ton of production. So they ended up just renaming the show last minute to something called The Dating Guy.
Oh,
Ugh.
that's what that was. I'd
that-
seen that. I didn't watch
Yeah,
it, but I'd seen it.
Yeah, only Canadians know about it because it was a Canadian thing. In
that,
America,
yeah,
we never got
that
it.
was on Teletoon at night. I remember seeing that a couple times. I was
Yeah.
I remember it was being really trashy.
Yeah, it was because they stole like everything that made Least I Could Do unique and tried to water it down to be like a pseudo family
I gotta
guy.
look this up
meets, like,
now. The
Critic
dating guy.
kind of
I
thing.
remember it now. Holy fuck! You just gave me a.
Yeah, and that's from what I'm understanding with the guy who does. I don't know why I just called the host who did the Boondocks Tyson Hess in my head because that's not who he is. Tyson Hess does the Sonic cartoons. No,
Tyson
but
Hess is a furry. The Boondocks guy is an African American gentleman.
Here it is.
Different demographics.
I
is he
remember
also
this.
a furry though? Yeah, we got Frog off on a rant because like this is Canadian related. I could talk about this.
No,
This
I
is
just mean because
something
it's just because I
Canadian.
actually remember,
Fucking nut.
I remember you just bring back weird memories because I remember seeing this shit and it was really weird and gross.
Frog is just excited because we could talk about something Canadian animation that
I was
isn't
like
Total
12.
Drama Island.
No, I was 12 and it was like midnight. I turned on Teletoon. I saw this like cartoon little autistic kid squeezing some girl's tit and it made like a sound like 800 times in a row and I was like, what the fuck?
It's kind of like
And you
I
just
don't know.
brought
Sounds like Leisure Suit Larry the cartoon.
you just brought
No,
back
no,
all
no,
these
no.
fucking memories and I'm fucking traumatized.
Hey, let's boomer this and let's go back even further. Do you remember when Spike TV was still a thing?
Oh fuck!
Oh, hell yeah.
That's not
Do
even
you,
that
do,
long
you,
ago.
do you remember like staying up till 3 a.m, like circa 2003, 2004, just so you could watch Stripperella because you didn't quite know how to access porn on the internet yet? So you were just
Dude.
like, oh man, cartoon porn.
Are you kidding? Stripperella was my porn.
Wait.
I didn't have
I don't
internet.
think I know
That
what
shit
that
was
is.
like,
Yeah, well
if
that's
I wanted my giant boob porn, I had to watch Stripperella, and that was it.
yeah. So you'd have to like sit through the cringiest like bar crawl live action like bro show. Like that would happen in between commercial breaks to watch Stripperella, and even then it wasn't that good. You're just like, all right, this is my life.
Dude, do you remember the fucking Spike TV live action Blade TV show they did?
Oh, I try to forget. It's just like that
Oh,
one
it
about
was
the
so
guy
bad.
who can travel back in time up to a week.
I I'm just kidding. Now I'm getting hit with my trashy flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember a fucking, it was a Comedy Central TV show. It was first person. I don't remember the name of the show, but it was about a dude who was trying to get a girlfriend, and it was like a choose your own adventure thing, except you don't choose anything. He just picks an option and does something. I was like, what the fuck is this show?
Oh, it was bad. I'm sorry, Frog. We're going too far back.
No,
in the
no,
boomer
it's
days. And
no.
if
I
we
know
go any
Spike TV.
If I
remember
go any
watching,
further, I'll start talking about like code monkeys and whatnot, and then we'll be lost forever.
And then I'm gonna go on my G4 rant because it's
Yeah, because it's the same series. Like when Adam Sessler and Morgan West were doing, game reviews, and they would just, it was so weird. Like, let's get out of here. Let's talk about Invader Zim. I don't like this anymore.
I a few weeks ago I went on a downward slope into I want to look into the G4 and X Play stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I immediately became the saddest man.
yeah,
who ever
dude.
existed.
Man,
I just
that was the shit.
So
I
speaking
remember-
of things from the mid 2000s that have no reason to exist in the modern day, hey, Invader Zim has a movie on Netflix.
And it's good.
oh man, no, it's not.
You don't like it?
What?
No, I didn't. But I will let you guys shower it with praise before I destroy it.
Here's the
With
thing
facts
about
and
it.
logic.
It just feels like I saw you say this beforehand. I was like, I can't really feel that. It feels like a long episode of Invader Zim with a couple little more impactful moments here and there. That's pretty much what it is. It's just a big old episode, and it's good. I like it.
And that's the best part of it, is that it's just another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like wild and it's not like the Halloween episode of Invader Zim or
the Christmas episode of
or the
Invader Zim.
Christmas
Yeah.
Which was DVD only, by the way, did not air on TV.
Really?
Well, yeah, the inner mechanisms of his Santa suit completely elude me. I mean, that was a morbid episode.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, and also the animation at points are like, this is lazy Flash. What's going
you mean,
on
talking
here?
about the good parts. But no, there's a couple little like weird parts, yeah. But it goes from like weird Flash to insanely fun and colorful and just
my absolute, the funniest, like, there are a lot of like pretty good jokes in it.
Yeah.
My funny, like the one I think is the funniest is whenever he's introducing the M bracelet and he's like, you could not possibly be as excited as I am for this invention. Some guy cannot scientifically prove it.
yeah, not scientifically possible. It's really fucking funny.
Yeah, it's not scientifically possible.
Yeah.
It's so classic feeling. It's like it's like my childhood is rubbing up against me in a good way.
Here's the thing. I feel that like nostalgia like as well, but also it's kind of strange because the art style is different now. It's a lot more soft.
It's more rounded
more
and
Cal
shaded.
Arts.
Not even Cal Arts. It's just
No,
different.
it's way
Just-
more
it's
Cal
just-
Arts.
Cal Arts. I hate the whole fucking Cal Arts term that's kind of got made because it doesn't really apply to most things, especially not this. It's just rounder. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more Cal Arts.
Cal Arts is not a synonym for round, cuck.
It absolutely is. Sans is the Cal Arts of video games.
He's made of fucking squares.
What, Sans? He's made of circles.
Have you seen a pixel in your life?
Yeah, I have. And when you add pixels together, you get vectors,
Technically,
which can create a
everything
circle.
on your screen is actually just made of squares. So.
Yeah, but are we going to talk about the molecular level? Because at which point they're single-celled organisms, which are generally round.
You two make me doubt that human beings are even real.
But
What the fuck?
Listen, okay, it's not. It's just they softened it up, and I was a little bit like at first because like everyone looks pretty good except they really did my girl Gaz kind of dirty compared to
oh
her
man,
old
they
self.
did Gaz so dirty. They cut out one of her
Yeah.
spikes.
Yep.
She's
And-
not as edgy as she should be.
Yeah, I mean her personality's a little softer.
there.
Which I can buy that because it's been a long time. It's
I
actually
definitely,
canonically it's been
like-
a long time since the last time.
I
Well, what-
like when she's like, when she has kind of a touching moment when she's like, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be a dick to you because you're my brother. But then at the same time, she's not been that dickish to him.
Yeah.
Compared to like the show where she basically treats him like toilet paper and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And she's probably why I have weird wants in my relationships.
No,
This makes me want to rewatch the series, but they took it off Netflix.
It was never on American Netflix.
Really? Damn.
No, it wasn't ever. Here's what I will say about it, and I got to do a little bit of backstory, otherwise I just come off as a hater. Is I have actually paid attention to way more of Vasquez's stuff than I should have for how much I dislike his content. I read all through Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I actually tried really hard to get through Squee.
Good luck with
And
that.
I actually enjoyed Lenore, which was funny because he didn't do Lenore. He was just one of the guys who worked on Lenore. Invader Zim was a period piece, in my opinion. If you were to watch Invader Zim back in like 2003 when it aired, a lot of it was relevant. Like when he had Pizza Hog, he was making fun of Chuck E. Cheese, which was basically capitalizing on stupid children at the time. He hates fast food, and you can see it a lot in his earlier episodes because he's talking about like how bad fast food is for you in like a very tongue-in-cheek way.
I mean, yeah, a lot of early Zim, and a lot of Zim in general, actually, is just a commentary on how shitty fucking the American society is.
Yeah.
And it's and
pretty
that's
funny.
totally
Johnny
fine by
was
me.
about how shitty goths are, then Invader Zim is about how shitty society is.
I
We
would
live in
actually
one.
say, if you enjoyed Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, you were actually the person he was insulting the entire time. Like,
I
No,
only
I mean,
read 2 chapters of it, 2 issues, I should say, and I thought it was interesting. I didn't get very far, though.
If you enjoy it on a surface level, yes. If you enjoy it because it's insulting those people, then not the same.
no, I would say it's the opposite. If you enjoy it on a surface level, then you're not the people he's making fun of. You're just like, yeah, this is a fun comic. I like a lot of his introspective. This is great. But then if you're like, look at these posers. Look at this. This guy gets
Well, that's
me.
different. Associating
Then-
with Johnny is not the same thing as looking deeper.
Yeah, that's you just described exactly what I'm talking about. It's like watching Scott Pilgrim and thinking Scott's a good guy.
Pretty much.
Wait, has anybody ever thought that?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Here's
There's
the
so
thing,
many people.
Scott is fucking cool, but he's an asshole.
Yeah, but
It's
like
a
John
lot
Cera,
clearer
like
in the comic, but yeah.
But
John?
the moment you noticed, or Mike Cera, whatever his name is,
John Cera.
John P. Sarah, his twin brother.
but like the moment, like I don't know, I never got that, but yeah, like I've paid attention to way more of Jonah Vasquez's stuff than I feel like I should have, and I feel like I should like it, but I never have, and I think, in my opinion, the only reason this movie came out is because we finally have a generation of children who shop at Hot Topic who don't get what all the merchandise on the wall is about. And it's costing sales, and now triple XL 15-year-old goth girls are no longer wearing Gur on their shirt. So they're like, holy crap, we gotta spike up sales. So they made a quick
what?
movie.
This is not.
I don't-
How is this quick? Did you see the fucking opening sequence?
Yeah, I would agree with you if this was if the movie was more of I'm sorry, my brain's exploding. If the
vequel.
movie was more of if it was more of a vequel for just the Gur aspects of Invader Zim, I'd be like,
Oh,
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is that Gur is like barely in it.
yeah.
Yeah, but every time he is in it, it makes it worse.
He has a couple decent
Yeah, but
ones.
you can say the same thing about the original show.
Except
Yeah,
he's way
and I
more in the
do.
original show. He's way
Gur-
more frequent.
I legitimately think Gur is the reason I didn't originally like Invader Zim, and it was able to give me a perspective of like, oh man, just watching Gur's tiny frame stretched across these giant goth bodies because he was on their t-shirts growing up. Like, I think
Stop
I just
making
have some
fun of
like
me.
Sounds like you're
borderline-
associating your like experiences outside the show with the show. That's not really fair.
No, that's absolutely fair because look at all the people who hate Rick and Morty now because of the Pickle Rick tattoos.
That's
Like,
on
it
them.
is
I don't
absolutely
think
fair.
I don't think that's fair either.
That's on them though.
It's one thing to say I'm more critical of this show because the fan base is garbage. It's another thing to say this show's terrible because the fan base is garbage.
Oh, really? So you're going to tell me that My Little Pony isn't terrible because of all the Equestria files?
I haven't fucking watched it.
I think it's a perfectly fine kids show.
Yeah, but it's been perfect. It's been permanently tainted. Like it's
Dude,
it's-
I
it is-
jerk off to anime porn on the nightly, and that shit's tainted as fuck. I got
Here's the
no-
thing: this
no
is
room to
entirely
talk.
Lauren Faust's fault. She
What?
could have chosen to make the horses less sexy, and she didn't.
I don't think they're particularly that
Wait,
sexy
Mom,
inherently.
Are you admitting that you think the My Little Pony characters are
You know-
attractive?
You gave Rarity big-ass eyelashes. What did you expect, Lauren Faust?
They always had big ass eyelashes.
Lauren Faust, how dare you make these horses fuckable?
Exactly. Like, you gave them, that little stride when they walk, and then you gave them big eyelashes that blink
boy.
very slowly. Like,
Muff.
no.
I'm gonna need you to be honest with me. How many times have you given an angry tug to My Little Pony?
This is a family podcast. I'm not going to answer that question, but it has happened.
Oh boy.
But, like, it's like, Foster's.
It's
Aside
much more
from-
acceptable when they're drawn in human form.
Wait, that makes it just
We
less
talking about
interesting.
angry tugging?
I just mean like the pony shit in general. Because if they're in pony form, like, what are you fucking
No, it's here's the thing. Like, you got Foster's Home for Imaginary Friend, and aside from like Frankie and Blue, who weirdly get paired up all the time, like
Yeah, they do.
were able to create a show that Rule 34 artists couldn't like dig their claws 20 feet deep into, like they were able to do with My Little Pony. And so,
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of great images of Frankie. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it's only Frankie. We encapsulated it and we locked it into a little box where they could only vent their frustrations down one pathway. Like, they minimized the damage considerably with Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and I applaud them for that.
Yeah, but like you can't you can't blame a show if weirdos want to tug one to it. Like,
You
just
absolutely can. No, you can. Like, that's a fault in character design right there.
can't. That's no. If anything, that's a proof that the character designs are appealing. They appeal
There's
to
a difference
weirdos.
between
when you
appealing-
create a show for the audience of little girls, you usually don't consider the fact that they're going to be sexualized.
No, here's the thing. You can
Unless
have
you give them
appealing
big
character
tits, then it's
design
not a thing that
without-
goes through your head.
You can have appealing character design without people wanting to have sex with it. Look at the Powerpuff Girls. Do you realize how difficult it is for Rule 34 artists to work with that
You
material?
say that, and
Moth,
yes,
do you realize how much fucking there's so much goddamn porn of
There's
those
so
three
much.
little girls. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus
but like
Christ.
it's like something that you laugh at. It's not something that you can
It's-
actually see as an
you
outlet. It's like, this is weird.
you say
And
that.
whenever I see My Little Pony porn, it gives me a good chuckle, or it makes me die inside. One or the other.
Yeah, but like I would say there is significantly less Powerpuff Girl porn than Dexter's Laboratory.
I mean, duh. Are you kidding me? The popularity of fucking what? Yes, you're correct.
And there you go. There you go. See,
There's no fucking
I was
girls
right.
in Dexter's Lab. There's like one.
There's his mom, and there's
There's
some
his
pretty
mom
good
and there's his
stuff involving
sister,
her.
and that's about it.
Yeah, and so I would say there's more of Dexter's Laboratory than Powerpuff Girls.
What?
Yeah, no, I'd say like, because, and they screwed it up. They screwed it up with Fairly Odd Parents. Like, they made those shapes a little bit too round in the Fairly Odd Parents.
This is the dumbest thing
What?
I've ever fucked. What do you heard?
What? Moth, you cannot fuck Wanda.
And it's the same thing with Danny Phantom. They failed with Danny Phantom too. Now there's a visual novel with a freaking Patreon account because of it.
I mean, Sam's design is perfectly fine, and I'm gonna need you to step off.
No. And we could go even further. Let's talk about Total Drama Island. And with Frog being
That
Canadian,
show is
he
literally
actually
meant to be
has-
for like fucking 15-year-olds who are already horny.
You're supposed to give that show an angry tug.
Precisely.
I think I know that the name of this podcast is going to be Angry Tug.
Invader Zim gave me an angry tug.
Oh, I remember back when I was in Invader Zim, I looked for like a fan page on Facebook, and I saw so much weird lewd shit. Man, it fucked me up.
I would say the weirdest fetish I see with Invader Zim is Vor. I see so much Invader
There's
Zim Vor.
so
It isn't
much.
even funny.
There's so much Invader Zim for it. Makes me so uncomfortable.
Like obviously there's the ship between Zim and Dib, but like it's just there's so much weird like Gervor.
Man, I just wanted to
Then
talk about
there's
the fucking movie here. Can I just say
This is important.
If you
This
like
is
the
important.
show, watch the movie. You'll probably like it. There you go.
I've completely failed this episode too, because normally I'm able to keep my power levels in check. Normally, I'm able to keep this a family-friendly podcast where we have discussions.
This
But
is to
now
go
This episode of,
even further
this episode
beyond.
of the podcast is vibrating with autism.
It's just yeah. So the movie is bad because it's one, the jokes haven't aged well. Like Vasquez has not found new things to hate. He still hates pizza companies for some reason. He still hates fast food.
It's not so much about it's about capitalism.
This is
No,
more.
it's not capitalism. It's his
This
hatred
movie-
of fast food.
This movie is actually very hopeful in comparison to the rest of the show. I don't know what you guys
It
are on
is.
about. The show is actually about how people can join together to make world peace. What?
No, like I get it. He was able to update some of his jokes by making iPhones the big bad guys of the movie
What?
this time. Wait, you didn't
iPhone
get that?
bad.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You didn't get the whole iPhone bad aesthetic?
No.
It's called the M bracelet. Like it's
The mem
it's-
bracelet,
it's
yeah.
there.
It's not that was originally gonna solve the fucking world's problems, you dipshit.
No, it's an Apple Watch. Like it's
Okay,
Vasquez
they never
saying
say
that
anything bad about
watches
it.
are bad
Why are they bad? They never said anything about them being bad.
because in the
That's
in
the
the
thing
hands
about
of
Boomer's Frog. They don't tell you why. They just say phone bad.
They didn't
Yeah,
say phone bad, they said phone will cause world peace. What the fuck are you talking about?
right, but did phone cause world peace? No, phone was bad.
Because it got infected with alien fucking I'm fucking off.
Last time I checked, Frog, the phone caused the florpus.
Yeah, the phone caused the,
Phone
florpus
didn't
frog.
cause the florpus, the fucking moose caused the florpus cock!
Yeah, but he couldn't have caused the florpus without watches, without phone.
Man, it's almost like Membrane himself said that it was only theoretically possible, and because it wouldn't even consider that being a possibility, because the moose was only like fictional
because
in his
phone
mind.
bad.
Exactly like corporations would, because phone bad.
Yeah, everybody's thinking
They're not even fucking
hey,
making real connections anymore.
No. Here's the real connection for you, okay? Apple Maps came out and people drove off cliffs because phone bad. It was supposed to help people get to their destination. It helped them get to their final
I
destination.
hate this episode. This is the worst one.
Mike and I
Dad,
said,
dad bad.
phone bad, neglectful parenting bad, pudding bad. You didn't get that at all? Chair bad. Chair bad.
I liked you more when you were more chair than man.
So, Invader Zim, I did not like this movie because for the same reason I didn't like the show. So it was a success in the fact that it was another episode of the show. And for people who love the show, it was very good.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
for me, who hated Invader Zim, it was nothing new.
I mean, to be fair, if you're gonna if you hate one movie and then go into sequel hoping to see something different, I mean, that's on you.
That's not true at all. Like, you can hate Alien. You can think Alien is a terrible movie. You're wrong, but you can think it's a terrible movie. And you can love Aliens.
That is true.
But that's like kind of a difference in genre. This is supposed to be a yeah, because that one's an action movie. The first one's a horror movie.
Right, no.
Yeah.
First one's a horror movie. Second one's an action movie.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
But like you can say that like Invader Zim was a scathing look at an alien's perspective on American society, but then you could have made a movie and you could have had it been something like the fact that maybe the alien is inside of us all along or something like that.
That's not what the show's
If
about.
that was Invader Zim, I would fucking hate Invader Zim.
That's the worst ever.
Yeah, like maybe the
real
we
Invader
feared
Zim was the friends we made along the way.
or yeah, the real Invader Zim is what we've been doing to the Amazon for the last 40 years.
Oh man, don't bring up Amazon, man. Have you guys been like? I know, Frog, you're kind of on Twitter. Moth, you're not on Twitter at all. But
Oh,
have
are
guys
you
seen
talking about
this-
these weird I know you're
So
No,
Moth,
no, stop. Is this about to get political?
no.
No,
Okay, go
man,
ahead.
it's weird.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know how a lot of people don't like Amazon because they don't treat their workers very well and all that?
What part of is this about to get political?
That's not political, that's just facts, man.
Okay, continue.
So Amazon, to combat all the negative press about it, may or may not have hired people to be
Oh wait,
ambassadors.
Is this the bossing say thing?
Yes.
Okay, all right, never mind. Continue.
Dude, that's real.
It's
there are
so
people
weird.
It's either people or they've created bots. And like I read a thread on
Yeah.
Twitter, it blew my mind because this one person was talking to one, and then another would reply in response to her, and she'd reply to it, and then a completely different one would appear, continuing the conversation
Like, 8 different
until she
accounts.
pointed it out, and then suddenly the original one came back, and it was like, what the fuck's going on? I feel like I'm watching aliens take over. It was so crazy.
surreal. I know. I saw the exact same thread.
So
Man.
it's an army of Judies basically from Bossing
Yes. Dude, and not only that, like, someone made that joke, and then, on Twitter made the post, "Hi, my name's Judy, and I work for Amazon now."
Yeah.
And so one of them responded and was like, "Hey, Judy, isn't it great to work with Amazon?" It's like, ah! What's
So
going on?
It's bots or people who don't have a good comprehension of the English language.
Oh, no, and, like, there was this one lady who was like, I work with Amazon and I suffer from depression, but I realized that, my workplace environment was making me more depressed. I'm just a bad person, and Amazon really makes me better. And it's like, if this is a real person, then Stockholm syndrome has become a human being. What the fuck?
It's so
odd. I
odd.
have some words of wisdom regarding that statement that my German ancestry has passed down for me, and it is work will set you free.
Oh, yeah, whenever late-stage capitalism caused you to kill yourself, hey!
Look, all I'm saying is Amazon and Auschwitz both start with the letter A.
really makes you think.
And I mean, Bezos sounds a lot like Mengele when you think about it.
Woo.
I think we just killed hate.
He's Jewish.
Fucking no, worse, I'm Native American. You people
you guys
took
still
my
exist?
land.
I thought Andrew Jackson took care of you.
No ads. No ads.
No ads. We've been demonetized.
We aren't monetized to begin with, so we're safe, guys.
Nice.
No, but you know
Fuck
who
the
will
monarchy.
sponsor? You know who will still sponsor us despite what we just said?
AdamandEve.com.
NordVPN. Speaking of which, guys, have you ever wanted to browse certain
don't
shows
fake
on
this right
Netflix?
Don't-
we have a
not-
lot of good.
We're not sponsored by NordVPN.
We
Yeah,
have a,
of course. We're not sponsored by NordVPN. We're sponsored by RealVPN.
Have you guys ever wanted to watch anime you just can't get in America on Netflix? Well, with NordVPN,
Can we not do
God.
this? We're gonna get sued.
it's fine.
NordVPN is going to send us a cease and desist, and we're going to have to read it on the podcast.
Call us NordVPN. We'll do a real ad for you next time.
Do you want to look into? Do you want to look into? It's Jeff, right? Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazon
Yes.
man.
You ever want to look into his ties with the Third Reich, but you live in Europe? With NordVPN, you can get access through Palestine.
Oh my god. I can't show my parents this episode.
I have
you
failed.
wanna-
I have failed twice this episode. I was
Do
trying
you
to
want to
not be-
support? Do you want to support the Chinese protesters without the Chinese government catching you? Use
NordVPN.
NordVPN. Use our promo code at
Are you trying to lose?
Anime.
Are you trying to single out all of our viewer base? So we want no one. An entire whole purge. Everyone's gone.
No,
Fuck 'em all!
Frog, we're okay. We're okay. We're actually trending really high with the furry commando demographic.
Yes. Both on the alt-right and on the far left spectrum.
Yep. So, actually, we're fine. Our target demographic is going to love this. We're great. It's just now our next guest star is going to be Paul Joseph Watson and Ben Shapiro. and they're gonna tell us about their favorite animes and why it's
Not Ben
Tanya the
Shapiro.
devil.
He's gonna destroy the
You were
effects of
saying-
logic.
I thought we were going to go political.
I told you I failed twice this episode. I failed
the
to not
third
bring
time.
up porn, and I failed to not bring up politics.
So Kengan Ashura is pretty cool.
Hey, hey. There's nothing political about Japanese fight tournaments that are fought
Based
over
on capitalist
political land.
organizations.
Oh, fuck. Frog, talk about your punch show.
Okay, I've been talking about this for months, so they've already
It's
gotten a
bad.
big earful. We'll get to it. And I don't disagree with you either. So it's a manga written by, I don't remember the guy's name, and the artist is Daromian, because I remember his name more.
I thought it was Boichi.
No, Boichi makes Dr. Stone.
Yeah, but he also did Kengan Ashura, didn't he?
No. You're thinking of
Continue
Sunken Rock,
talking.
the thing you like. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Where the main character of Sunken Rock is just Dr. Stone with green hair dye.
You're not wrong. So yeah, it's a fighting manga, martial arts, based on basically what they said. It's like a bunch of companies late stage capitalism their way into fighting tournaments. They use fighters to fight on their behalf to make business deals and gambles. So
You know,
that's,
there was actually, there was an anime very similar to this, where you have to gamble online in a virtual world with your Neopet, and your Neopet gambles with you.
what?
And if you go bankrupt in the game, you
Die in
your
real
child
life.
dies. No, your child dies.
What the? You're fucking with
And
me.
no, I'm not kidding. Everything you've accomplished since you entered the game disappears. And you have to fight at least once every 2 weeks or something.
Why would anyone join this game?
You don't join it by choice. You're just given $10,000 or something and you're expected to succeed. And so, like, the leaders in the game, like the guys with the highest scores, have the most capital in real life and are all, like, CEOs of huge businesses.
That sounds
So
nothing
it's
like
like-
Kengan Ashura.
No, it's
this gonna
Kengan
be
Ashura with stands.
Okay.
Is this going to be a Zatch Bell thing?
No,
That
I'm
sounds
gonna
like
look it
Let's
up.
Bill. That sounds like
Talk about Kengan Ashura while you talk it up.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, they're making business deals and gambles through the fighters. So whoever wins the fight wins like the capital for the company, and the fighters get paid. So that's the basic concept, and it follows a character going through these fights and through a tournament. And the anime came out on Netflix on July 31st. 12 episodes for the first part 1 it's called. I'm assuming there's going to be more at some point in the following months.
Oh, yeah, it's already been confirmed, and I think...
Already being worked on, I
don't-
believe.
Okay, there we
I
go.
would say it's releasing pretty soon.
Here you go. You'll like this, Hate, because you're a pedophile. It's called Sea Money of the Soul.
Oh, no.
It's, the main character basically gets a lolly with horns and a, swimsuit as his demon.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, so that's Kengan Ashura, but with stands.
Okay.
All
So
right,
if you know
continue.
if you know about Sea Money of the Soul, imagine that but without stands. No, I'm looking at these pictures. Do not imagine this without stands. This looks awful.
Nah, Sea Money of the Souls is great.
This looks
man.
like
You can't hit
Yu-Gi-Oh. What the fuck?
it. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's more Kengan Ashura than it is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Point being, it's less fantasy, more grounded martial arts that are very exaggerated with superhuman kind of bodies. The anime came out, like I said, and it's different because it
Well, it's
changes
3D.
and cuts a lot of stuff. Not 3D, yeah, I was gonna get to that, but my biggest problem with it, not the animation, is that it just changes and cuts a lot of the content that's in the manga, making it a lot less enjoyable.
You know, I actually think what I don't enjoy about it, it has nothing to do with the manga or the anime. It's in both of them. It's that random businessman who follows him everywhere.
Oh, dude, I love him.
Kazuo
I
is
can't-
like the best part of the series.
No, here's the problem with that guy. That guy is like looking into the void of what you will become if you are not careful about your life decisions.
Yeah.
Like, so it's that dude is like it's like walking side by side with the Grim Reaper while you're at a water park that's
It's an
right
interesting
next to the
character.
electric power plant. Like,
Someone who's
You
really
don't know
down on
what's
his
gonna
luck,
happen.
bro.
I don't like that character. I have crippling anxiety. I can't watch Welcome to the NHK, and I can't handle staring at this salaryman.
That means it's a very effective character.
It's why
You're
I
getting
couldn't
stressed
You
out
can't
by
watch
it.
Welcome to the NHK because you are that guy.
Yeah, no, I really can't. It's like Inuyashiki, the last action hero. I couldn't stand that show, even though it's amazing. because it's
not
just
amazing. It's
I'm
pretty
watching a depressing man live a depressing life, and it just gets steadily more and more depressing.
That show's
It's like
pretty bad.
It's
Man,
why
Muff,
I'm actively.
If Pun Pun ever gets an anime, it's
Oh,
gonna
gosh.
just kill you.
Pyun Pyun is gonna kill me. It's I Am Hero nearly killed me. Like, oh gosh.
What?
I am Hero. That's too. An autistic guy with a gun fighting zombies. That's really relatable.
Yeah, right. Oh nope, we're not getting political. We're done. I wasn't gonna say anything. Kengan Ashura can't handle the guy who follows him around everywhere.
What?
Cannot handle him. Kengan I kind of like. I've always liked that art style. The giant,
What are you-
Oma.
the main character. His name is
I
Kengan
hate you so much.
because
I'm gonna
the show the
I gotta get
shows
water
are
to cool off.
the shows are always named after the main character. That's Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z. The main character is named Balls.
Actually, Yu-Gi-Oh isn't named after Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh literally is translated as King of Games.
Yeah. In Egyptian, right?
No, wait. Maybe. No.
No.
Here, let me.
O is the Japanese word for
see here.
games, and Yugi means king.
Rosetta
No.
Stone.
O is king, and Yugi is games.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, Rosetta Stone, Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's see here.
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, Yu-Gi-Oh here. I'm trying to find an image that's not 200 kilobytes by 300 on my 4K monitor.
Cares. So, it's got. Here's the thing. I think the manga is one of my favorite martial arts manga. Actually, my favorite martial arts manga. I haven't read that many, but it's very well done.
There
Mike
are
actually
some
read
really
some
good
of it.
ones.
Yeah, there are some really
Yeah,
good ones.
yeah.
I'm actually planning on reading like Ippo and stuff like that soon. So, I'll get to that.
My issue with it is just that there's not a lot of plot. The characters are all right, and I've read about as much of the manga as I've watched the anime, so I have like not as much as Frog. I don't like making like qualitative judgments on things that I haven't seen all of, unless it's just like obvious trash, like Handshakers or something like that. So Moth is over there shaking with.
I'm trying to remember if Handshakers
He's
is what
over
I
there
think it is.
crying with his t-shirt for Handshakers on. His heart is
Handshakers
broken.
is that
No.
show about like the girl who has to hold the guy's hand and it gives her powers, and all the environments are 3D but the characters are 2D.
Oh,
and it's
yeah, that's
awful.
just as terrible of a plot as a guy who gets super powerful if he sees a girl's panties.
Don't.
Sorry, that was the punchline there.
I hate you so goddamn much, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Take. I want you to arrest yourself.
This is the worst
Police.
Now, here's the thing. I actually think the less plot something has, the better it gets.
Because you don't have to think about it.
No. But look at Baka no Test. Why do they have reflections of themselves that walk around and fight and duel? Who cares? It's interesting. Why?
I mean, it's explained. It's okay. Sorry.
No, it's
Don't
not.
wanna-
It's not explained at all. At any point, they just have these versions of themselves that follow them around and fight. That's it.
No, it is explained. It's part of the school.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Why? There doesn't need to be a reason. It's entertaining and it adds more for us to enjoy.
Well, yeah, there doesn't need to be a reason for something that they don't need to explain. I
Exactly.
agree
So
with
the
that.
less plot you have, the better something
I
is.
don't agree with.
No, like, because if you have too much plot, you get Monogatari, which is terrible. It's trash. There's too much plot. But as you peel away the layers and you simplify things down and you could just enjoy something, you could do more with the characters, you could do more with the action, you could do more with the...
horse to the old town road. I'm gonna...
Frog is pulling a me right now.
But no,
I'm
like,
just imagining you, Moth. You're sitting in your cave in your loincloth. Oh, I'm sorry, your loin bodysuit, because being naked is bad. And you're just there's a TV.
Oh, now we're bringing up religion. There's the third one. Oh boy, I have failed 3 times in this anime.
I was just was just pulling from your talk earlier. That wasn't even calm down, Mormon boy. We don't have to talk about your underwear.
And we're done. The podcast is over. We just lost all the outright because they're all Catholic.
We just posted cringe and lost subscriber.
Yeah, like we had an alt-right viewership at one point, but it's gone now because all the Wiccans and the Catholics don't want to hear from the Mormon.
I've been waiting 3 months to talk about King Ganache. I can't fucking talk about it.
All right, so King Ganache, go.
Tell us about your gay punch boys.
I don't feel like it.
But no, I would actually say Kengan Ashura is perfect between plot. It doesn't have a plot. It is just people fighting because capitalism.
It's got some plot, but it's light.
It's
mostly
a fun
character
action.
driven.
It's a fun action show.
Yeah,
mostly
and character driven is more important than plot.
It has really great 3D animation fights.
It does actually. I like the way it looks.
Despite
actually-
the fact that the models are kind of iffy, like the actual animation on the fights is really good.
Yeah.
And actually, I would say that you can see a good example of character driven being good versus plot being bad in one anime. Gurren Lagann, the first season
What?
is character driven, and the second season is plot driven.
Second
And I
part
would
is
say
the
the
Fuck?
I would say the
Also, you're
first
wrong.
season-
Firstly,
Dude, what? Moth,
Yes?
you can't just say these things. You can't just be this human that you are.
I'm just gonna say words. You know. I just feel like
But
popping
yeah.
some words in some other people.
I do agree with you, though, Frog. I would say that Kengan Ashura is good because it doesn't pretend it's something it's
It's not. Okay, you know what? That's I like that. It's like I actually agree with that because it doesn't try to be like it doesn't try to be overcomplicated or trying to
You
like
can't
make,
analyze King and Ashura.
I mean,
don't
there's
need
some you
to.
can analyze characters. You can't really analyze the plot.
Yeah.
Which is
You
fair.
don't need to.
Exactly.
It's right there.
Exactly. It's fun. It's mostly surface
Going
level
back-
from a plot perspective. But the characters are really, really fun, mostly in the manga because they skip a lot of the cool interactions in the show. But
I
it's
still
cool.
I'm super like salty about the better breed while you can line because that is such a baller line that they just missed.
For context, Moth, because I know you don't read. And you know Rihito or Lihito in the subs for some reason. Like the guy with the claws, basically.
Yeah.
Before they fight, there's like a small trash talk portion before they fight, and like Rihito's actually got a bunch of girls on his arms because he's like a fucking playa. And Oma has the line, "Better breed while you can because you won't be able to after I'm done with you," or something like along those lines.
And the
Jeez.
way he says it is like it's after a pause and it's really derpy.
Yeah.
But like you can tell like he had like a blank face and he had to think about something cool to say. Like he's such a goober and like you missed that in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like-
okay. So you would say, Frog, that this is definitely worse than the manga in every way.
Yeah, because I feel. Here's what I said earlier to Mike while we were watching this because we watched it a little bit together actually. Yeah, pretty gay. It was really gay time, but I feel
Sucked
like
a big penis.
the anime is not a replacement, but rather just really supplementary to what the manga provides because there's a whole fight that got cut. Very many scenes involving character interaction between fights got cut.
Oh, it's like what happened with Golden Kamui.
I didn't watch that, but maybe.
Wait, you haven't seen my all-time favorite anime?
No, believe it or not.
Oh, they actually. So Golden Kamui is so extreme. Like, there's a guy who literally goes out and just has sex with wildlife.
Yeah, you've shown very many times. I'm very happy
Yeah,
to see it every time.
They had to cut that from the manga, or from
What?
the anime.
Okay, yeah. I
They
was
had
gonna
to-
say.
yeah, like they had to cut so much from the anime. Like the fact that they did the skin suit fashion show blew my mind.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of it sucks because like the reason the fights are so cool is because you get to see the really fun characters you've grown to like over the course of the manga fight, right? That's why it's interesting to see them fight and you want to see them win your favorites and cheer them on and stuff.
Yeah.
But without those scenes in between, or a lot of them cut, we didn't like the black guy Muteba, like the big strong like dude. It doesn't go into his story at all, but he's actually an assassin mercenary who's like a prolific murderer. It's like who like kills for hire basically, and it doesn't show any of that. So the context of that fight with him and the crazy guy, I'm not sure if did you get this far, Mike?
No.
Okay, well, so the context with that is that he's fighting against this other guy who they do show some backstory, only like a quarter of his whole backstory, who's also like a crazy psychopathic murderer, but he's actually like a psychopath, not just like a murderer. So it's like the idea is that it's like two heartless killers fighting each other is the whole like kind of deal, and you don't get that, you don't understand that until maybe they'll show it in season 2. I don't know. It's just there's so much stuff that you don't understand, and it loses the effect.
It's a watered down version of King and Osra.
It really
So
is very watered.
it's what we were doing with anime adaptations years ago. Come back at full force.
Yeah. It's just...
Okay.
So if anyone liked the show, or if they thought they would like the show if it had a little bit more, or something, then I recommend switching to the manga, unless you're Moth, because you're a dummy. If you
Just
like...
there's even visual information is missing from the anime. Like Rihito, his the like hand grip thing is visualized in the manga as his fingers turning into razors, and it's really fucking dope.
Yeah.
And it really shows how fierce he is. But in the show, he just got he got monster claw.
Yeah.
Just
Monster
grr.
Claw.
He just kind of, it has like this cool little like visual symbolism moment where his fingers turn into like razor knives, and it looks kind of cool. Stuff like that, little things like that. More visual metaphor happens.
Okay.
And this is a prime reason why I love Oyasuma Pun Pun. That's Goodnight Pun Pun for the not weeb enough weebs. It's my favorite
know it
manga
as
of
Pun
all
Pun.
time, but if it ever got an adaptation, it would probably be awful.
I mean, I'm still sitting here waiting for Sunken Rock to get an adaptation, so,
Don't think it's gonna happen.
The only Sunken Rock I know about is that there rock I threw in the lake.
Here's the thing, Moth. Dr. Stone is a less detailed shonen, and Sunken Rock is a very gritty seinen with incredibly detailed art. And my question is, why would you even want an anime adaptation for it? It's gonna look like ass if it ever comes out. Because they can't
Mostly
possibly make
because
the
Just
art
think
look
of
good.
how bad Dr. Stone looks, and
it looks amazing, though. Like, those facial expressions
it got
are
better.
hit perfectly.
It got no. If you want to no. Maybe you think that way because you haven't read it, but the art in the manga is superb. It is stellar. It is flawless. And whenever I see an expression like that represented in the manga, it's usually done worse, except for some of the still shots. Even then, some of the still shots look kind of bad. It's a very hit or miss.
I think the latest episode has been the best episode of Dr. Stone.
I have not watched it, but probably because that episode I know what happens in the manga, and it's great. So
Yeah. So it's...
I'm still autistically abstaining from that show.
Okay.
Okay,
one
don't.
last thing I want to talk about before we get into questions and whatnot.
Yeah.
I found out something the other day. This was... So, as we've made abundantly clear, is I'm old school. Like, I mean, we're talking about the days where you pretty much went to Blockbuster and got whatever they had on VHS to watch. Mm-hmm. I actually went and looked up Tenchi Muyo the other day because my little brother is in Japan and never watched it. And I'm like, hey, I need you to get me Ryoko statues or Washu if you see them. Like, can you get me these statues? And, I was like, I wonder if he can get the DVD set of Tenchi Muyo. And I wanted to make sure he got the right one, because when I was a kid, there were 3 Tenchis. There was Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Universe, Tenchi Tokyo. All 3 of them were reboots, basically. Like, there was the original, Universe is a reboot, Tokyo is a reboot. And I looked into it, and, like, the development process and the lore and, like, the way everything was done puts Monogatari to shame. Like,
every single Tenchi piece of art is technically set in its own universe, despite being related.
Well, here's what happened: is Tenchi Muyo, as I know it, is actually called Tenchi Ryooki, which is confusing as hell because Tenchi Ryooki is a spin-off manga that got made. So it's Tenchi Muyo Ryooki with 6 episodes of an OVA that they did so well. There wasn't even a manga for it; it was just an OVA. It did so well.
Pretty good too.
They commissioned 6 more episodes, and then after that was done, they started work on Tenchi Universe. And then Tenchi was doing so well that they decided to go back and finish the OVAs. So they made the last like 12, 13 episodes of the OVAs. So you got 26 episodes of the OVAs, which is the OC content. And then Universe is finished. The OVAs are finished. They make Tokyo. They make Tenchi in Tokyo, which is another
one
reboot.
I remember.
Yeah, and then and that's the worst of the three by far.
Yeah,
Universe
it's
is
really
the best
bad.
of the three. Then they went back and made a movie based on the original OVAs again. Mm-hmm. And then I believe they made a second movie based around Tenchi in Tokyo.
Oh man!
And then
keep going. I
Oh,
want you to
no.
get to the good stuff.
And then they made a third movie. And the third movie is once again the true ending to the original Tenchi Muyo. And it's just like, all right, so we got 2 movies based on Muyo that end the OVAs. We got Universe, which was the best and nobody did anything with it. And then we got Tokyo out of nowhere. And then they're like, oh, by the way, here's GXP. And here's this.
GXP.
Well, and then and then they decide to start doing mangas based around Ryooki, which then got OVAs of its own called Tenchi Muyo Ryooki. And you're just like, oh, okay, now what? Oh, yeah, we're going to take the Tenchi brand and make an anime about Gundams. Is Tenchi
dude.
in
Okay,
it?
so I just want to put a pause and talk about GXP in that one. GXP is so fucking trash, bro. It's so fucking bad, bro. It's a harem space cop anime where it ends with him getting married to all 3 of the anime space girls, and it's like and the main character isn't Tenchi. It's his like a next door neighbor who looks exactly like a younger Tenchi.
You know, I gotta give the show credit, though. The fact that they ended a harem like that is just... I gotta give that props. I really do.
The
Like-
only props it makes me want to have is my arm against the handle of a shotgun as it blows my brains out.
I don't see it, man. It was good in my opinion. Like, if they actually have the balls to end a harem with him going the harem route, I gotta give that credit.
Yeah, fuck that. I fucking hate GXP so much. There's an entire planet in GXP of cat people that a certain friend of ours would probably explode if he ever got on top of it. The fucking furry.
Well, yeah, but that's also in Outlaw Star, which is, you know, one of the best sci-fi odyssey animes of all time.
Yeah, okay.
The Clans. But, yeah, so then there was a mecha.
Wait, they're called the Clans?
Yeah, that's why her name is Aisha Clan.
That's one away from being not okay.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so then Tenchi Muyo then got another, it's a reboot, and for the life of me, I can't tell if it's Muyo, Universe, or Tokyo, but it got a sequel where it's a bunch of 3-minute things, and I think it was based to promote something in Japan, and it was basically 26 3-minute episodes that had nothing to do with the original cast, and everything to do with just some random Tenchi harem of new high schoolers, while he's a college professor.
Oh, that
So-
makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I'm like, and then I looked and it's like, by the way, the Tenchi Muyo OVAs will continue in 2020, and I'm like, I got no idea what's going on anymore.
Man, I'm proud of you, but you missed one. There is a Magical Girl spin-off show.
Oh, Sasami,
with that-
Magical
yeah.
Girl Sasami, there we go.
There's so much Tenchi Muyo, and so much of it is low-key garbage, and it's amazing and beautiful. I don't even hate it. I appreciate its existence.
Yeah. So there you go, Frog. I know you've had an aneurysm in the corner because you have no idea what we're talking about. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tenchi Muyo, more complicated than Monogatari and better in every way.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
No, I absolutely would. Monogatari is trash. And I'll fight you on it.
So,
This whole time, I've been posting Dr. Stone faces to show the quality of the artwork.
Yeah, I actually think the quality looks better in the manga, or in the anime.
You're retarded.
No, but like,
You're
look,
literally
the facial-
retarded.
The facial expressions look good because it's Boichi style, and Boichi knows how to draw. But like, I think it looks good in the anime. It looks real good in the anime.
It can look good. It has looked good on occasion. I'm
Manga
very
said
disappointed with the
Monogatari is
production.
bad, so, you know.
I've been very disappointed with the production so far on the show, for the most part. The last episode I watched was alright, but Episode 4 in particular, that one was bad.
So
That one was bad.
we do have some questions, by the way.
Oh yeah, we should do that before we run out of time.
So
and-
do y'all want to do, because we do have some more emails from a coworker, do you want to go straight to the Discord?
we'll do your coworker first, then the Discord.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see the.
So, coworker sent 3 more emails.
He tells a fucking joke
Oh.
again. I'm gonna block him.
So, they're really short. 2 of them I learned are not from him, but from his girlfriend.
Oh,
So
You hear
the first
that?
one
If
is,
you listen to our podcast, you'll get laid.
it's true.
Disclaimer: we cannot prove that will actually happen.
I can.
but it totally will.
Yeah.
So the first one is called "My Girlfriend's Pissed." My girlfriend is pissed. I'm not giving her credit for her jokes. Everything funny I say is her mindchild. She's a comedic genius. She may have written this email sent via the Samsung Galaxy Note. And this one is just called "My Girlfriend's Pissed Too."
Whipped.
The sandwich
Right.
joke was hers, as if it wasn't obvious.
Whipped.
And then finally he got his phone back and sent one called, but also, do we even need to talk about how good Initial D or Sayuki is? Also, can't remember the name of the manga of the kid with headphones and a staff in the 90s with purplish hair that was a shiznat. Bonus points to Martha Frog, who could name it before you. I think he had a stroke. I don't know what's going on.
I don't
there.
know.
I don't either. Like,
Headphones?
Yeah.
In the 90s? I don't know.
I tried asking about this at work, and he was like, "Yeah, the headphones." And I was like, "What's it about?" And he was like, "I don't know, but do y'all remember it?" It's like,
no.
this man needs help.
You realize at least 15 animes have come out every season for the last, 30 years, right?
This isn't even an anime. This is a manga. He's trying and
What?
Oh, yeah, well,
fuck
forget
no.
that.
Even less so then.
All right.
But yeah, Initial D and I think Sayuki is lame, but I don't remember what it is. Initial D though, pretty good.
Initial D, I watched a couple episodes and it was fun, and then I never watched it again. But I had fun watching it.
It's good for the memes. That's it. Done. Yeah. So moving
Great
on, we have a question from the Discord. Bootsuki asks, "Is boob
This is not-
poop upside down?"
We're not answering
Yes.
this. No.
No, yes, it is. Boobs are poop upside
Ban him
down.
from the fucking server.
Not happening.
I didn't understand the question, and now I do. Is boob poop upside down? Oh my god, boob is poop upside down.
Good
Look
job, Mike.
at it. Ah, kill me.
Yeah. Next one is from Kat. Apparently, this is important to Kat. Tell us a story about you and a cringy experience you have where it gives you terminal embarrassment.
She
And
directed it specifically at you.
Yeah, I know, that's horrifying. I have one, and I can't quite give you the details on this, but I have this thing where if my autism kicks in, I have 2 choices. I can either recover by running away as fast as I can, or I can watch the slow burn occur. And this is a situation where I just watched the train wreck happen and did nothing to stop it. So I'm working on a job site, and one of the customers who works on the equipment that I was fixing at the time, I was making small talk with her, and I knew she'd had a kid recently. And I asked her, I was like, "Hey, so she was a little bit chunky at the time," and I'm like,
Nice.
"So you and the husband trying for another kid now?" And the implication was basically, "You're fat, you pregnant?" And I'm glad she didn't quite catch it. She was like, "No, actually, he got a vasectomy 2 weeks ago." And I said, "Yeah, well, that's not going to stop you from having any kids." And she goes, "No, that's literally going to stop us from having kids." I'm like, "No, it doesn't stop you from having kids. It just changes the color of the baby." And the look of disgust that she gave me. And I at this point, I need to end this conversation now, but I decide to double down instead.
The absolute spaghetti coming out of your pockets, man.
And I look at her and she like gives me this look of disgust. Like she doesn't quite get it, but know it's offensive what I just said. I'm like, yeah, just because he got a vasectomy doesn't mean you can't get pregnant again. I mean, that'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? And she's like, and she was like, in what world is that funny?
Oh.
And I'm like, you're pregnant, you say it's a Christmas miracle, and then the baby comes out, and you're white, and he's white, and it's an Asian baby. And she's like, how is that funny? I'm like, that sounds hilarious, don't you think? And she just started to ignore me after that. Like, she would not look me in the eye for the rest of the day.
Oh, man. That's,
shit.
it's good
That's
stuff.
really quality. That's Frog. Please tell me that you have a tale of autism as grand as that.
No, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, all right? I'm a fucking huge retard, but I don't have... The thing is, I think it happens too often that I don't remember them, you know what I mean? So, the one I thought of the most, they're just pretty generic. Like, I asked a girl out, and I was just being shy and shit. That's not really interesting. Here's a slightly more interesting one. Back in high school, I was volunteering at I hope I shouldn't listen to this, fuck. I was listening to, we were volunteering at a dog... SPCA. You know what the SPCA is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a dog shelter basically thing. So
it's the good version of PETA.
Yeah, so I had a friend
I love Brad.
Well, who's like doing work there and volunteering, and she invited us, me and another friend of hers there, and we're all friends. The other girl had broken up with her boyfriend very recently at the time. So, we were just hanging out. And then we were like alone in one of like the stalls, me and her. And, fuck.
I don't know where this is going. But
It's not, I think it's the opposite of where you think it's going. Because, I'm just like there doing my thing. And she puts her hand up on my like stomach or whatever. Like, I guess to feel my abs or whatever, which are not really there, but like they're stiff or whatever, right? Cause I'm just thin. And she was like, huh. And I was just standing there like, I don't know what to do. What the fuck do I do? And she was like, not bad. And I was like, yeah, cool, dude. And then I turned around and I didn't talk to her for the rest of the night.
Holy shit. Frog self-cock blocked.
Dude, no, it's fine. we ended up like not being friends for a while after that. For different reasons, but.
Okay. Holy shit! I've only heard of that in the wild. I've never actually seen it.
You've never actually seen it?
Yeah, no, I got
shit.
totally like propositioned essentially. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily going anywhere, but it was.
Oh no,
No. I mean,
you had it. Dog.
Knowing the context, it was a weird situation. Anyway, either way, that was awkward. Do you have something else?
Yeah, I have this is my famous story. So growing up, I was basically told by everyone that I'm the special one. So as a kid, I was very egotistical and up my own ass. This is something that I grew out of when I realized no one is special and everyone dies. So yeah, fun times.
Woo! Nihilism.
In high school, junior high school, I learned that my local public library has an anime club.
Whoa!
Oh boy, all these stories.
And I, being, a pretty soft weeb at this point, Dragon Ball Z's the best and Bleach is cool. I was like, anime club, fuck yeah, I get to be cool, I get to be the good guy, I get to have friends. And I'm just like, I'm so ready. I meet the guy who runs it. Good guy. If I think I'm fat, then he was like a planetary body. Good guy though. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. If you ever see this, I'll just call you W. You're doing a good job. I like your books. But he runs it, and it's only their second ever meeting, and I show up, and there are.
Fellas, there are ladies in this anime club.
That's a generous
false.
term. Wow. You went with like the slightly less horrible version of what I said.
So there are two ladies. One, and they're really cool actually. In retrospect, I would have wanted to be friends with them, but this is what I decided to do instead.
That doesn't bode well for the rest of the story.
So one was this really cool chick who made her own cosplay and would go to conventions, and she was cool. And the other one was just like, just kind of like very pretty and more of a normal. In fact, I'd be very surprised if she still liked anime, but we were pretty young. So it was only their second ever meeting, and the first one where there was enough people to really talk to each other. And I had never met them before, so they're like, you know what, let's go around the room and do introductions. And the two young ladies introduced themselves, and I learned, this one likes Phoenix Wright and all that, and this one's favorite anime is Fullmetal Alchemist, whatever. So it gets to me, and I want you two to guess how I chose to introduce myself, because it's...
Oh, what?
It's the best.
What's poppin', gamers? It's your boy, I Hate Anime, back at it again with another fucking Let's Play. Today we're showing off our top 10 animes. Number 10, fuck you!
I introduced myself by going, you're a 7, and you're an 8.
What?
And my name's Mike.
Alright, I'm ending the episode. I'm done, guys.
What do you mean?
Nope. I'm hitting the stop button. I'm done. I'm gone. Later, guys.
This is real. This is the life I live.
Moth left the call.
This is the fear that wakes me up at night.
Hey, you're pretty attractive. You're slightly more attractive. Oh, yeah. I'd fuck you. I'm Mike. Moth has left the building.
We'll answer the last question on the next podcast. Thank you guys for listening to the We Hate Anime podcast.
That's actually kind of a shorter one here.
Next time you see me, please don't just in my life, because this is
guys.
This
cancel
is a memory I live
cancel
with
Annie
the rest of my
Micro
life.
on Twitter. He's fucking been doing it for too long. We got to bring up this 16-year-old rumor and.
Peace out.
Are we gonna plug our shit real quick?
Oh yeah. Before we go, I'm at Annie Micro on Twitter.
Just that's ANIMAIKERU.
Yeah,
Because you never spell it, so I want to make sure everyone knows.
I don't know how to spell it, so I never do.
ANIMAIKERU. You can follow my Twitter, FrogKing FR0GK1NG, and Twitch the same name, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, and if you want to send us an email, you can, with questions, if you want some personal advice, if you want to know how in the fuck could that story be real, you can send it to askwehateanime@gmail.com. That's ASKwehateanime@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. I'm gonna go kill myself.
I fucking hate this episode.